evening. My name is Bill Alterman, class of 1969. If you had been paying close attention to Ms. Cowan showed two presentations ago, you would have seen the class graduation picture. There was somebody who looked somewhat like me, except a much more massive amount of hair in that picture on the far right second row. Pay attention as you go. I think it's on the right hallway or something. Anyway. As I said, I'm a graduate from 1969. My brother was also a graduate of here. My nephew was a graduate of here, and my son Herschel graduated from here 2 years ago. Some of you may have some vague memories of him. Okay. So I want to know, how do you spend your time? You're probably wondering what that means. I'm probably wondering what that meant too. Probably wondering if it's going to start. You'd probably do a tap dance, I suppose. The timer's not on, so I don't know if that means it's not ever going to start.
There we go.
Okay, how do you spend your time? My name is Bill Alterman. I'm an economist at the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Also, besides being a graduate, I was a former captain of the Yodelers Nerdly Ball team. If you don't know what Nerdly Ball is, see me afterward and I'll explain it to you. Anyway, we do a lot of boring stuff at the Bureau of Labor Statistics. For example, you've probably seen our unemployment rate. Nobody cares about our unemployment rate. Either you have a job or you don't. Consumer prices, you only care if your salary or your retirement is indexed to the CPI, unless, of course, you are paying college or private school tuition. CPI has gone up 27% in the last decade. Private school tuition, like St. Spring, up 64%. College tuition, for you kids who know, up to 84% in the last decade. Things are getting expensive, so we do put out some of those numbers too, as I said. But we also do some less boring stuff at the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Stuff you can nag your kids about, where jobs will be and what they will pay. Or if you're a student, you can answer your parents when they start nagging you. So I was going to focus on jobs and majors and etc., but somebody stole my presentation. The Washington Post magazine a few months ago took all of our data at BLS and wrote their very own article. So if you want to go hear about that, probably go read that magazine article from 2 months ago. It says everything I was going to say. Good night. No. Anyway, we do have some data at BLS that you should be interested in. Jobs that pay well. There's a couple of them at the top of the list is anesthesiologists. You may notice a pattern in these 10 jobs here, for example. MD probably is in most of these somewhere, I suspect. We also have data on jobs that don't pay so well. For example, at the bottom of the food chain, so to speak, we have shampooers. Please tip them nicely next time you see them. Also, food preparation, cooks, fast food in particular, also sort of at the low end of the food chain, just above dishwashers. Where jobs are coming and where jobs are going. The fastest growing industries we put out: personal care aides, home health aides, taking care of us older people as we need somebody to help get us to the bathroom. Jobs that are declining: postal service. Surprise, surprise. But what else do we do at BLS? We do something called the American Time Use Survey. It's an annual survey about 10 years old, based on interviews with about 12,000 individuals 15 and over, divided into 466 activities. It's a lot of activities we've got to figure out for you guys. What's the biggest category? Of course, sleeping. The average adult sleeps 8 hours and 45 minutes a night. I'm sure you're all getting your averages up. Works 3.5 hours a day. Remember, that's for everybody, not just people, whether you're working or not. It's a funny number. Leisure and sports, 5 hours and 20 minutes a day. But can this be true? How much time do you talk on the phone? Men, only 7 minutes a day. Women, not much better, 12 minutes a day. That matches up nicely with something. Your religious and spiritual activities. 7 minutes for men, women, 11 minutes. Not quite sure if that's about either. Seems like difference there. Can this be true? The average person engaged in housework per day. 20% of men, half the women. So what do men do with their time? Watch TV an average of 3 hours and 4 minutes every day, as compared to 25 minutes a day doing some kind of exercise. For shame on us. Who does the food prep and cleanup? Men, 40%. Women, 64% on an average basis. How much time do they spend doing it? Men, 17 minutes. Women, 45 minutes. Boy, there's a surprise. But perhaps more interestingly, does marriage make a difference? Unmarried women spend 35 minutes a day doing housework. They get married after 46 minutes. Unmarried men spend 16 minutes a day. That's too much for them. They get married, it's down to 12 minutes a day. Shame on you, men. 15 to 17-year-olds helping out. Housework. Girls, 16 minutes a day. Thanks, girls. Boys, 8 minutes a day. That's an example of their room, obviously. And the meal prep and cleanup, girls spend 10 minutes a day, boys, 3 minutes. Getting to the McDonald's or something like that. Favorite activity? Of course. What do you think? Look how it goes up, particularly for both sides. 15 to 17, even up until 58 years old, 2.5 hours a day. By the time you get to be 75 or plus, men are spending 4 hours and 43 minutes a day in front of the TV. Must be a long game that day or something like that. And speaking of education, if your kids complain about how much homework they have, the boys on average, by high school age, do 40 minutes a day. Girls, 62 minutes a day doing homework. Yeah, maybe that's okay, if it's true, perhaps. So what are they doing with their time? Well, the girls sleep an average of 8 hours and 34 minutes a night. Well, the boys get 8 hours and 37 minutes. Come the weekend, they gotta make up for that, obviously. Boys do 10.5 hours of sleeping. Girls get by on 10 hours and whatever that sign says over there, I can't read. So, they're gonna get to college, they're gonna buckle down. Full-time students in college, women average about 2 hours a day doing homework, the men do about 1 hour and 50 minutes. But how much of their time is spent in class? Women spend 1.5 hours in class, and so do the men at Pierpont University there. And finally, back to occupations. BLS tried to update the jobs over time as they evolved, but sometimes we made mistakes. We dropped telegraph messengers and locomotive firemen. But in this town, at least, I think we should have kept the hucksters and the peddlers that we used to keep track of. Thank you very much.